Welcome back. Let's read and discuss some AITAs. I've got Reddit pulled up. Let's jump right into it. AITA for buying sexy pajamas for my friend's girlfriend. First initial reactions is, yeah, that seems inappropriate. Let's read the story. I, male 26, live with my friend, male 26. We're roommates. Last year, his girlfriend, female 24, moved in with us. I'd say that during this time, me and her have also become good friends as well. The three of us have a good friendship, and we don't have any major issues with our living situation. So the thing is she's pregnant now. She's 7 months along. She had her baby shower yesterday. Last week, I went to the baby store to buy a gift for the baby. There was lots of cute clothes and things, not just for babies, but also for maternity clothes, pillows, stuff like that. So I bought a gift for the baby and saw a cute nightie that's pink and had some lace around the edges. I thought it was cute because in the front it has a drawing of a baby sleeping on a cloud and says, "Shh, baby's sleeping." I don't know, I saw it and I thought it was something cute, so I bought it as well, to add to the gift for her. I gifted to her at the baby shower, not a big deal. She made a joke about modeling the pajamas for me the next morning while she's making cereal for breakfast. At that time, my friend laughed as well. He also agreed that the drawing was cute. However, yesterday he told me it was kind of off for me to gift his girlfriend sexy lingerie. I mean, the dress does have some lace on it and it's short, but that's not why I bought it. I got it for her because I thought it was cute. That's it. He said that's fair, but it was weird. It had a deep neckline and some lace. I told him that the lady at the store told me that it, was made, for breastfeeding more accessible. Still, he was upset and told me that I'm overstepping boundaries. He's upset with me. My theory is that maybe someone else, maybe someone from his family, might have told him something, like implied that I'm trying to steal his girlfriend or something. But almost everyone is saying that I'm in the wrong here. Is that really so? Hold on. I want to click on this link. They included a link to what the dress looks like. Okay. Now here's the thing. The initial story was like, no, that doesn't seem all too weird, right? If you had, good intentions and you didn't really think of it in a sexy way and somebody else did, okay. But here's where the story got weird for me is like, why, I don't know, like the whole lead up about, oh, like we've become really close too, just was like, not weird on its own, but like in combination with later, her little comment about, oh, I'll model it for you at breakfast. I'm sorry, what? Now, like, it kind of sucks that he's taking the blow for this, because if I were one of those family members, like he suggested at the end, like probably a family member said something that made him like think of it that way when he didn't originally see it that way, the boyfriend I'm saying. If I'm that family member sitting around and they open that gift, I'm not thinking anything of it, right? When she says in a joking, oh, I'll model it for you. No, inappropriate. Like if I were the loved one, like the spouse to someone who's joking that way with the roommate, we'd have a serious sit down, because that's so inappropriate. Like it's not funny to joke about, even like implying, you know what I mean? Like even implying being any type of sexual or on display, even if it's not in a sexual way, being on display for another person. That's where and so if I were the family member and I went like, bro, like that might lead me to think that there is something happening between those two, and I might say something. And it's unfortunate that he's taking the heat, because it's like, it's her. She said that weird comment. Like, to me anyways, I don't think buying the outfit was all too weird. Again, if you're thinking like, oh, she's got to sit around and breastfeed the baby, you're not thinking that as a sexual way, but the outfit, a nice, what's the word? A lace nightie with a low cut. Like, someone else might interpret that as sexy, but if you're looking at that, you might think breastfeeding. I could see why it seems totally innocent to me, where you're buying that. It's got a picture of a baby on it, for Christ's sake. It's not exactly, like, yes, it's got some lace, but it's not exactly lacy lingerie when it's got a cute picture of a baby and like a little phrase across it. That kind of takes it out of sexy lingerie to me and makes it more of just like a house coat, or whatever they call it, like a house dress or whatever, like pajama house dress, whatever. let me scroll down and see. See, the first comment, I'm reading some of the comments. The first comment is, if it didn't have the baby drawing on it, I would think it would be weird. But because it has the picture of the baby on it, they wouldn't consider it sexy either. And that one has a lot of upvotes. I'm gonna go against the grain and say no one is an a-hole here. It's not like you went out of your way to buy her Victoria's Secret, like, baby dolls, you know? You literally went to a mom and baby shower shop, like, specifically, you know what I mean? Like, if they're selling sexy lingerie in that store, well, I'm about to go off topic. That really has nothing to do with it. They might sell it sexual, but the intention of the gift was not sexual lingerie. I don't think you're the a-hole. Some people are being weird about pajamas here and thinking they're automatically intimate. Right, pajamas don't mean automatically intimate. Like, I've hung out in my pajamas when friends come over or things like that. Like, pajamas doesn't mean lingerie. Apparently, most people in the poster's personal life thinks they are the a-hole, but all of the comments are NTA, and I quite agree with NTA. It's got a picture of a baby on it. No, period. Let's go right on to the next one. AITA for refusing to discipline my son when my ex wants me to. When your ex wants you to? Makes it sound like she's just trying to impose her will upon you. If it were worded, AITA for refusing to discipline my son when my ex feels he needs to be, or something like that, you know what I mean? Let's just see, though. That could just be down to the wording. Unfortunately, my first impressions is here, it's probably just two stupid parents fighting with each other, affecting the kid, but let's see. I, 28 female, have a son, 8 male, with my ex, 29 male. Dan and I did not work out, and we've co-parented okay-ish for the last 7 years. We have our ups and downs, as it has to be said. 3 years ago, Dan married Dawn, and the three of us have been communicating since then. When Dawn was added to the communication, things became more strained. She felt like she could request days where Kai is with her instead of with me, even though Dan and I share custody of Kai, and Kai is with them every other week. She wanted Kai for her birthday. She wanted him for part of Mother's Day. She wanted him for a trip. She wanted to take him out of state for a day. I asked once if the plan was to give me back the days during their time, and she said no. It's about encouraging and strengthening of the parental bond she and Kai needed to have. I refused to give up the days with Kai, and that was not taken well. Ooh, this is gonna be a really, really, gray area story. I can already tell. Another issue was Dawn wanted to change Kai's pediatrician because she plans to use someone else when she and Dan welcome their kids. I didn't want to have the pediatrician farther away. I love the current pediatrician, and so does Kai. Dan said Dawn should get to make some decisions, and I said, if that's how things work in their home during their time, then sure. But that would not be making a decision for me as well as, and that's a no. Reasonable. Kai has a difficult relationship with Dawn. I don't think he hates her. He has some nice things to say about her, but he has a lot of not nice stuff to say as well. He finds her overwhelming, and he doesn't like that she wants to be his other mom. I know that from Dan and Dawn that they feel like Kai refuses to see her as a parental figure and all, and it bothers them that he won't let her be his second mom. Kai is part of this junior coding school he goes to once a week. He's been going for years. Dan and Dawn recently changed the child information and added Dawn as the second mother, which is something you can do. From one of the teachers at the class brought up Kai's moms, he told her that he only has one, and it became a discussion, and the teacher figured it was a mistake, and she changed it back to the old format, where Dawn is an emergency contact, not a parent. Dawn found out a week later that when she was picking him up from school, she and Dan decided Kai should be punished for this. She and Dan decided that Kai should be punished for this. Dan then informed me what happened and how he felt Kai needed a month-long punishment at both homes to show how serious this is. I disagreed, and that actually the issue with them listing Dawn, let me rephrase. I lost my speech there. I disagreed, and I actually had issues with them listing Dawn as a mother to Kai. I told him I would not discipline Kai for this, and I do not feel like they should either. He yelled at me and I said I'm not co-parenting and am pushing out Dawn, who is an equal parent. There's been a lot of back and forth then, and I have stayed true to my word. I also documented the messages about this. My ex says I'm undermining Dawn and their authority as parents to Kai. Nope. I'm sorry. You could tell I made my decision up halfway through the story. Dawn is so incredibly overstepping. You're not a parent. You're not a parent. And as I always say in these videos, this is just my personal opinion. And I'm someone who is without kids, so you could take my opinions with 0 grains of salt when I'm talking about what parents should do. But Dawn's overstepping. You're not a parent. You're not. You're not a parent. You're not her. Pardon. I misspoke. You're not his mother. I really misspoke there. What I meant to say is you're not his mother. To list yourself as his mother, as a second mother, that's overstepping. You can be a parent. Sure. But that would only be appropriate to call yourself a parent, I feel like, when that's appropriate for you and the kid, right? Like, this is very gray area. I understand that, like, sometimes kids, are like not welcoming to new people and might need to like be pushed out of their comfort zones a little bit, but also like it sounds like you're just pushing too much too fast, to the point where it seems like, especially the question of being like, should we punish the kid? No. It seems like a genuine thing if the kid was like, oh, 2 moms? No, I don't have 2 moms. Like, it seemed like the kid was genuinely confused when someone said something that he viewed as incorrect. I don't think that kid even had any like intention to go to that teacher and like take Dawn off the list. Like, I doubt that 8-year-old was even like thinking like that. He just genuinely was like given information that he was like, oh no, that's not right, let me correct that, and now he's gonna be punished for it. Like, that's crazy to punish him. It's really, really sad to see that like a new spouse is coming between the co-parenting. I understand that there's probably was issues even before the new spouse, it sounds like, but like it's really unfortunate when families are split up and they can't even manage to co-parent very well, you know what I mean? And it's a really common and unfortunate problem. But as for, is she the a-hole, I would say absolutely not. If Dan and Dawn feel like Dawn needs to step up over at their place, that's absolutely their decision to make, even though I don't think that's appropriate personally. But that absolutely does not affect the poster and the rules at her house and how things go at her house and how she raises the kid, you know what I mean? And here's the thing, is she was saying like, oh, like the kid doesn't really care for Dawn that much. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's probably just because the mom doesn't care for her, right? Because like kids are gonna pick up on like, oh, like mom doesn't like her, like we don't like her kind of vibe. Like, I'm just assuming that that's probably why. It's because you don't even like her. Things were already strained. Let me do a quick scroll down through the comments. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna see NTAs, right? Because it says here they're pointing out the fact that I'm pushing out Dawn, who is an equal parent. No, that's the thing. You're not an equal parent. You're definitely not his mother, or the second mother. You might, if the situation calls for it, call yourself his parent, but never equal to his mom and dad. Sorry, but you're just not the same. She's not everybody's just saying the same thing, just not an equal punishment. And also, yeah, people are saying like, oh, a full month punishment for something like that is so extreme. Like, even if he had intentionally taken that woman off of the school list, intentionally told the teacher, like, knew that she wanted to be on there and told her that it wasn't, whatever, a full month of punishment at both houses, like, I don't know, it seems really extreme. It just seems like you're trying to force the kid to like someone he doesn't like. And that's not gonna work, you know? Okay, let's move on to another one. AITA for telling my Sorry, this post was removed by Reddit's filters. AITA for demanding my niece wears a diaper. If we're talking diapers, I can only imagine babies, and I can only imagine the reason this would even come up is because that baby is somehow making things unclean via the lack of diaper. Let's see. As the title says, I'm demanding my niece wear a diaper. My niece, 3, female, and sister-in-law are visiting and staying with my wife and I for the weekend. We are celebrating my son's 3rd birthday this weekend. My sister-in-law is all about gentle parenting. I truly think it's great. Do you? I already doubt it. Explaining things to kids, let them make their choice, no yelling or time's out. My problem is that my niece is not potty trained. In fact, she refuses to use the toilet. I get it, lots of kids are like that. However, she's also refusing to wear a diaper. She's had multiple accidents in my house already. I just mopped the entire floor after she wet herself. I'm having, 20 plus adults and 10 kids over later for a party. I'm demanding that she wear a diaper at this point. It's just gone too far. AITA, no. Does this even need to be posted on here? I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was going to be, more to the story than that. Because, no. Hello? It's, that's becoming a hazard. That's becoming a health and safety hazard to people around at that point. You know what I mean? By all means, gentle parent. By all means, responsive parent. By all means, let your kids be free with their bodies. You know what I mean? No problems with, small children being new or whatever. But there is a problem with, biohazards being spread around the home in an unclean living environment and other people being affected by someone else's bodily fluids, etc. Come on. I'm going to scroll down here. NTA. Come on. It's good to let kids make some choices, but, that needs to change with age. NTA. Come on. That one, I feel like that one didn't even need to be posted on the site. He might just be feeling badly because he's going against a kid and, your feelings can make you doubt yourself sometimes, but, absolutely not. Are you kidding me? AITA for not letting my boyfriend use my car after I give birth. I'll keep my opinions to myself. Me, 21 female, 7 months pregnant with my boyfriend, 33 males, baby. So many opinions. I'm due in April, and we have been sharing a car for 6 months. My car. Since his car broke down, he hasn't gotten it fixed. It's my car, and I make payments every week, and he has never helped me with payments, despite him using it for 6 months. My mom lives out of state and is flying in when the baby is born, and needs the car to use to get back and forth to help me with the baby, since she can't stay here because my boyfriend and mom don't like each other. I told her she could use my car since I won't be able to drive after I give birth anyways. I didn't ask my boyfriend for permission for my mom to use my car first, because I thought he would either get his car fixed or get a new car by then, but he's mad at me because he has no intentions on actually figuring out his own transportation by then. He's mad at me because I didn't consider his feelings before making this decision with my mom. AITA for not letting him use my car when I've given him months to figure it out, and I don't want to be stranded with a newborn. Oh, goodness. Poor girly goo. Poor girl. It's I'd say freaking run, but unfortunately you just had a baby with the dude. For one, 21 and 33. For two, she's getting her life together, paying her bills at least, she seems like at least bare minimum responsible. She's paying her car, making sure things are straight, making sure, the mom, she's going to have some help after the baby. Getting her, she seems like she's planning ahead and, organizing things as well as she can. He seems like a gosh darn bum. What? How are you 30 something? You are having a baby with a woman she didn't say husband or anything like that, which I know some people don't go there, but I'm just saying, I'm just gonna assume that she would prefer the traditional marriage and baby, but is just getting this bum with a baby instead. And it's this is a dude you're not even married to, who doesn't take care of his responsibilities, whining that for right after the baby is born, he's not going to be your priority and who's being taken care of. I really wish women would stop having babies with men like this. And I'm not saying I'm not pinning it all on the women. I'm not saying women, but it's really unfortunate when I know, like it's a lot of different situations. Sometimes he seems fine until all of a sudden some real responsibilities pop up, and then you're kind of like too intertwined to leave at that point or whatever. I understand it gets difficult. I'm just saying, like, it really sucks when ladies find themselves in positions where, like, but via their own fault or not, where they're just like stuck with a dude who is not at all what it seemed like or what they thought they were getting. And if I scroll down, he wants you to ask permission, all in caps. You didn't consider his feelings. He actually said those words out loud. I actually quite disagree with that. Men should talk about their feelings. Within reason. Now, I say often feelings are not the end all be all. They're not as important as people usually make them. But males in particular are taught to like never have a feeling ever, right? So they do need to have a little bit more feeling typically. The age gap was the first red flag. It only got worse. See, I think I made a face at you right when I said 21 and 33 because I don't, and I'm not saying there's inherently wrong with age gaps. I'm in a pretty large age gap myself. Like my dude's 47, 45, 47, I don't even know. 45-ish, 47-ish. I'm 32. So, I mean, I'm in an age gap, but I didn't enter that age gap until I was fully an adult, until I was 30 whatever, 30 something, right? And I feel like that makes a huge difference. I will speak on my experience as being younger and hanging out with older dudes, and I will say that those experiences could not even be considered the same thing as what I'm doing now. Like at this, I would consider an age gap relationship where it's two adults who both have fully functioning brains and everything, who are like focused on adult type things in life, whatever, like the same similar type things in life, whatever. But when I was in those, I don't even want to call them relations, I don't know, when I was hanging out with older dudes when I was younger, it was always some sort of manipulating me to do things that I wasn't quite comfortable with or quite sure about, or just taking things further than I would have liked, or, you know what I mean? It was always just like pressuring to do something. And I just have a feeling that that's how she ended up with the baby to begin with. Oh, 32 minutes ago, the OP says, update. After being screamed at all morning, I've decided to leave. I left a lot of things out about our relationship since I wanted to focus on the issue today, but I did not choose to have a baby with him. I've been told since I was 12 that I would never be able to have kids, and I was on birth control to regulate my periods. I found out I was pregnant at 16 weeks, so I hadn't had much time to evaluate. Okay, yeah, unfortunately, girly goo, she's all confused. She's like, am I the one abusing him? Unfortunately, it seems like a really awful guy, manipulating, confusing, and gaslighting a young and impressionable girl. That's a lot deeper and sadder than I thought that story was going to be. That's really unfortunate, but I'm actually really glad to hear that she plans to leave. I genuinely hope she is like capable of actually following through with that, both like financially, physically, mentally, all of those things, right? Because I understand that even after that decision is made, even after you know, sometimes it can be so hard, especially when you've got a baby. You got her and that dude are always intertwined now. You know what I mean? Even if you take that man out of that baby's life, that guy's still a part of your life. He's still your baby's daddy. Let's do one more. AITA for telling my wife she's being brainwashed. Initial thoughts is probably you are pointing out an actual real problem, but most likely the way you went about it was super ineffective and just started a fight rather than accomplishing the actual goal you had, that is to get a message across to your wife. I find that a really common thing is just like men are just like so inconsiderate of feelings, and women, especially nowadays, are like too considerate of feelings, and the two are like not meshing. And when men try to have good intentions, they're not really like met well because they don't. It's kind of like you have to like know your audience, and when you speak to emotional beings in a way that's not emotional, we tend not to react very well to it. I, male 27, have been watching No, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I see the words football and Taylor Swift. Oh, no. I've been watching American football since I was a kid. I'm a huge New England Patriots fan. My wife, 28, has never watched it. We've been together for almost 10 years. She is athletic and likes sports, but she always said watching sports on TV is a huge waste of time, which is completely fine. I respect that. She never said that I shouldn't watch it or nag me about it. My wife is a huge Taylor Swift fan. So now that she's dating Kelsey, my wife suddenly shows great interest in football and even started watching it. And of course, supporting Kelsey's team. That felt a little weird to me, TBH. For example, she's made fun of me when I was in a bad mood. That means basically cursed a few at the TV, not actually in a bad mood. When the Patriots lost and said that it feels stupid to feel that way because it's only sports. Now she's fully invested in the Super Bowl. And we're not even American, but I didn't say anything. At least she shows interest in football, which I don't care if she said, you know. For the last few years, it became a tradition to me that me and my 3 friends watch the Super Bowl at my place. First in my parents' house and now at my apartment. My wife never joined, so it's become kind of a guys' night. A couple of days ago, she said that she wants to host a Taylor Swift-themed Super Bowl party and invite her friends. I said to her that they are more than welcome to join us, but that I won't host a Taylor Swift-themed party in my apartment on a what was supposed to be a guys' night planned well in advance. She got mad and started screaming at me that it was rude and sexist, and I told her what I think about all of this. I told her I can't believe she even wants to watch after all the comments she made, how it's a waste of my time. Then I can't believe she changed all her views just because Taylor Swift told her to, and that she's being brainwashed by the media. Now she is mad and wants an apology. Yeah, he's right. He's right and she's wrong. I would say NTA at all. For one, if it's kind of a long-running tradition and it's kind of an unspoken thing that something is going to happen every year during this thing, I can understand one party wanting to switch it up, but just expecting, like, hey, we're going to switch it up. Like, well, hold on, I like it the way I like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty important. I would say that it would be more important to, like, compromise and keep the stability and, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, schedule or whatever to my relationship than it is to just have a random spur of the moment, he's right, I didn't care about this thing 30 minutes ago, party with my friends. I feel like a good way they could go about this, instead of, because unfortunately they just instantly fought about it, they could have, if they'd calmed down, maybe just like, she could perhaps host the party elsewhere. Her and her friends could get together maybe at one of their houses or something, if she wants to do that, because I don't think it's right that she just come in and like take over this thing that he's kind of always done and is excited for, is planning. And especially because it's something that this is like a long running interest for him, where for you, this is a fleeting interest. You didn't care before they were whatever, and you won't care pretty soon. Like, the whole hype is going to die down. Either the relationship will end, or even if it doesn't, they keep being together, the hype of talking about her being at the games will die down for the most part. You know, like, never totally, I don't think, but you know what I mean? Like, the big hype of it will kind of will move on. I just don't think that's something that needed to be fought about. Let me see how he said it. I told her I can't believe she wants to watch after all the comments she's made of how it's a waste of my time. See, it seems like they both just have their feelings, right? That's the thing. They're both just being too emotional, because he's getting all upset. He's like, he's getting defensive. It's like, well, oh, what? All of a sudden you like this thing that you've been calling me stupid for? And that's why I think it's really important to, like, be careful of that in your relationship. Of, like, even if it's something that you, like, think is kind of weird or, like, you don't fully get, I don't think it's necessarily appropriate to constantly be expressing that to your partner when they talk about that interest. Like, I get it if it's not your thing, but you want to be supportive of your partner too. Like, I wouldn't think it would be very good if every time I was excited about something, my partner was like, "Oh, that's fucking weird." You know what I mean? Like, even if he thinks it's kind of weird, he's still supportive of it. He's like, you know, whatever. It's like, "Oh, that's so fun, cute, whatever, love that for you," type of vibe. You know what I mean? You never even have to be like, "Oh, I like that. That's cool." You just have to be like, "Love that for you. Glad you're enjoying it. Glad you're having fun," type. You know what I mean? You can be supportive even if you don't like something. So I think that's kind of where this whole thing started. Just like, why are you constantly picking at him and making fun and making him feel bad for something that he just enjoys doing? So while I don't think his reaction was very good, I think that honestly she's the one who started off the whole kind of issue by like picking, and then happening to switch on something that you already made him feel like crap about. Why are you now like all jazzed up about that same thing? Like, I can totally understand if someone was constantly like, nah, pink hair sucks, pink hair sucks, pink hair sucks. And then all of a sudden they show up with pink hair and they're like, oh my god, love my pink hair. Everybody loves my pink hair, right? And you're just like, it's hard to be happy for you. Like, even if I like obviously love pink hair and I love it on you, it's just still kind of hard to, it's just weird now, you know, because you've always talked about how you hate pink hair and people with pink hair are ugly, and now we're just, everybody's supposed to love your pink hair. Thanks for joining me. If you liked that video, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up down below, subscribe while you're hanging out down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.